Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Savannah at Purple Phoenix, and today we're going to be talking about what happened when I played my hard mode island of Turnipstan on January 27th. So I started off like any other day. Tom Nook has his announcement, told me about Snow Boys, which I already know about. Pretty boring. Pretty normal. Come out of my house and I happened to see shooting stars, which was pretty amazing. So I wished on one and stood there for a little while. Waited for some, nothing happened. Then I decided I'd wait for about another minute while I put on a TV show, and again, nothing happened. So I moved on from that. I decided to do the group stretching. And that went exactly how you would expect it. I did actually stand up during the group stretch. Of course, y'all don't get to see that part. But I did do the group stretching. Had a good time. I didn't like looking at Peck's soulless face the whole time, but I did. So that's how that worked. Once I completed that, I did get some Nook Miles for doing the group stretching 3 times. So we've only done it 3 times. That's kind of disappointing. After I did the group stretching, I went over and picked my fruit. I had about, I had 7 trees. After I picked all the fruit off of the 7 trees, I then planted my last 2 trees because the rules say I am allowed to have 9 fruit trees that I can harvest from. And I got miles for planting fruit, and that was part of my 2 times Nook Miles plus goals. Afterwards, I went to get this moth, and then Peck came over to me and had to teach me about reactions. He's the last person I want teaching me about reactions. I mean, look at that thing. And yes, Peck, I agree, that was very weird. So anyway, I learned how to do reactions. I got the 4 or 5 basic reactions. Afterwards, I dug up a bunch of fossils, because I figured that would be important. Caught a fish. It took me a couple tries to catch that fish, but I did catch the black bass. Caught this dragonfly for some reason. I thought that might be fun. Then I made a very crucial mistake. I went over to the drop-off box, sold my oranges, but forgot I am not supposed to sell fish and bugs in the drop-off box. I have to sell those to Flick and CJ. So I did that. And that was bad, and I went off like the sinner that I am. But I am going to be subtracting the 7,600 from the oranges, and I'll just not take 1,200 of the bells. So then, after I made that mistake, I went and talked to Tom Nook about building the bridge. Also took some garbage from the drop-off, or not the drop-off box, what is that? That's the recycling bin. Took some stuff in the recycling bin. I listened to Tom Nook talk about building a bridge. Then I forgot what I just read, so I had to do it again. After that, I left to go and craft the bridge construction kit. Wasn't very difficult. Got that going. Organized my pockets for some reason. Put some stuff in my storage. Not a big deal. And then I left so I could forget about the bridge for a while. Instead of building my nice bridge, I decided it was a good idea to hit my rocks for the day. So I hit that one, got a bunch of iron. The second one, I also got a bunch of iron. Then, when I was walking around, I found the Emperor Butterfly, which I figured I might as well catch. I know I would have to give it to Blathers first, but definitely a good idea to go ahead and catch that. Then I found this beetle on the stump. The citrus longhorn beetle, so I got that. And that also completed my catch 5 bugs times 2 Nook Miles quest. Then I caught the pond smelt, got another fossil, banged another rock, got a yellow perch. And then I remembered, oh, I have this bridge construction kit in my pockets, so I put that somewhere random on the bridge. I was like, oh, this is a good spot, and put it down first spot I could think of. And thinking back on it, that actually is a pretty good spot. Honestly. Because I like to access the right side of the island a lot. Then I caught a freshwater goby, waited for that yellow balloon to get where I could pop it. I popped it. I hoped it had bells in it, but it had snowflake poche, which, I mean, that's fine. Then I caught another pond smelt, and I went and got more Nook Miles completed. I did the 5 fish Nook Miles quest. I told Tom Nook that I completed the bridge, and then forgot about Tom Nook for the rest of the day. Then I went to the terminal because I figured it would be a good idea to go on a Nook Miles ticket island. So I redeemed the ticket, and I'm about to play a very slow animation of the ticket coming out of the terminal. Enjoy. It was so worth it putting that in there. Hopefully, in the next Animal Crossing, we're not printing out tickets one by one, so it takes forever. When I went on the Nook Miles Ticket Island, I had Bamboo Island, and I decided, you know what, I still don't have one of my 3rd villagers, so I do need to check who's here. And it was a bird. That's usual. All my villagers have been birds thus far. Celia is kind of cute. I did not end up taking her. I kind of regret that. I mean, I could have had all birds on my island, but chose not to do that. So I tore apart Bamboo Island. I don't know if I can sell the bamboo sprouts, so if anyone knows that, please let me know in the comments, because I would love to sell those. 'Cause I just stuck them in my storage when I was done. As well as, I think I can sell the bamboo, but I'm not sure. But I cleared the entire island for the most part. I think my shovel broke. But, apparently I'm now Bell Bottom Salsa. So Bell Bottom Salsa returned to her island where she found the snowballs to build the snow boy. So I rolled those around. This also takes forever. But thankfully I was able to make a really tiny snow boy. And I did end up making a perfect snow boy. It just took me a while. So that means I got a DIY, a frozen partition, and the large snowflake. And I did get Nook Miles for doing that. It was one of my Nook Miles plus goals, so gotten that down. Then I decided to run around and collect the shells on my beach because I could sell those at the drop-off box. Then I came across Wisp, and I caught a sea bass. But I came across Wisp. Came across Wisp for the first time on this hard mode island, and I knew I had to do his quest because I could get new furniture for that. So I would have to set off and do whatever I could do there. Then I continued to just collect seashells because why not? It's free money lying around on my island. And of course that takes a while because my beaches are so big, just like everyone else's beaches. But I think I got a pretty good haul of shells. It just took a little bit. I caught all the flounder too. And I can't sell that till CJ comes to the island. I did not sell any more bugs or fish accidentally to the drop-off box. I was very careful because I realized that mistake in the middle of filming this. So I was very careful from then on out. Then as I was running back from collecting all my seashells, I finally found a Wisp spirit piece. So I caught it, couldn't put it in my pockets. So I decided to dump my wetsuit on the ground. Nice and cold for when I want to swim again in the icy cold ocean. Then I found a second one, caught a third one, then the fourth one. I was really surprised at how close they all were. And then my net broke. So that was wonderful. Anyway, I went and I sold my shells through the drop-off box. I made a good amount of money doing this. And I do have to remind you, I can't keep 1,200 of the bells that I made. And of course I sold some shells and forgot that I had other ones, so I had to do it again. So I probably made about 6,000 bells through the seashells. I didn't really pay attention. But I did get more Nook Miles for that. It wasn't a Nook Miles ×2 goal, but it was something. I did have more miles for selling a bunch of seashells, so I want to make sure I remember to be doing that each and every day. Then I went back to my house, finally crafted a net again, because I was going to need that to catch the final wisp piece and whatever other bugs I would find. Then while I was at it, I also went ahead and crafted an axe again, because I broke it on Bamboo Island. My shovel did not break, but the axe did. So after I finished that, I grabbed my wetsuit again and decided, you know what, I should just go ahead and finish up my ×2 Nook Miles goals and swim in the ocean. So here's a small montage of me catching a bunch of creatures. So once I did that, I collected my Nook Miles, and I was done with those quests. I grabbed my coconuts off the beach because I am allowed to sell those, but I'm only allowed to have the 4 coconut trees to harvest and sell from. So, might as well do that while I was here. Once I did that, I went back to the drop-off box, sold my sea creatures, which you are allowed to do because you can't sell those to CJ, as well as my coconuts. So by that point, I already had 17,000 bells that I could collect the next day. I would just have to remember to get rid of the 1,200 whenever I played again. After that, I finally found the last spirit piece. Definitely wasn't very hard. Pretty much found that after I sold my stuff at the drop-off box. Talked to Wisp again. Completed my first Wisp quest. And I hoped I was going to get something really good. I chose to get a new furniture piece. And I was hoping it would be something awesome, but I got a tool cart. So, although I was disappointed about my prize, I did get Nook Miles for it. And I have to rescue his spirit pieces 9 more times before I can get more Nook Miles. But I did put that tool cart to good use because I already had a toolbox from earlier in the game, so I just put my toolbox on my tool cart. Then I returned to the tent because I realized by that point Timmy and Tommy's had closed. One of the daily quests is to buy an item from Timmy and Tommy, and I couldn't do that because they were closed. So I decided, you know what, I'll buy a few items from the Nook shopping in order to make up for it. I've broken a bunch of rules today. So I bought KK Flamenco, the Rossetti model, because why not? That thing is really, really cool. And the Lunar New Year decoration because it was going to go away the next day. So I figured I might as well have something nice. So after that, I banged another rock. I found my money tree and got a whopping 3,000 bells from it. And found my money rock, which was nice. And after that, I just decided to unwind and catch some sea creatures. So here's a montage of me catching, what, about 20 sea creatures? The lobster was hard to catch, so I was glad I got that one. I got some Nook Miles for catching all those sea creatures. We've already gotten 57. So after I caught that piece of seaweed, I swam back to the shore, and I was going to deposit all of my sea creatures that were new to Blathers, which I had, I think, 4 that were new. Yeah, 4 were new. So Blathers took those off my hands, and then I went to the drop-off box to see what kind of money I could make. And it was a pretty good amount. Just from that trip alone, I made 14K. That's a lot of money. Well, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching this video that I've worked really hard on. I edited it a lot. If you all liked this type of content, please remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on other content like this. I will be doing Animal Crossing Hard Mode streams, so you definitely won't want to miss those. But I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!